Well, howdy guys. Yep, I am going to make another alcohol stove. So if you want to follow along and see how to make one, hang around. Let's get to it. Well, this is the one I made a few years ago. It's uh, it's out of a aluminum beer can, and I store my alcohol in a little bottle. Holds, I don't know, maybe an ounce or so, but this amount of uh, alcohol will cook maybe a cup and a half or so of water to a boil in about 3 minutes or so. I'll get about 3 to 5 minutes of burn time out of it. But this one, like I said, I made it a while ago. It's out of an aluminum beer bottle. Uh, this part here was the neck, and probably seen some other videos made of it, and I just rolled the edges over. But I've used it a few times, and it works fairly well, but it's just flimsy. I got a dent here, and I'm worried about one of these days I am gonna bump into something or drop my bag or my backpack, and it's gonna um, put a big old dent in it. But we're gonna make another one today. But this time, and I carry it in this little bag. But this time, I'll set this off to the side. We're going to make it out of one of these drink bottles. You can get these Walmart, thrift drug stores, anywhere in that line's a couple bucks or so. Stainless steel compared to aluminum, and it's just a screw lid. I'm going to take that little carabiner and use it for something else, but what we're going to do is you're going to have to figure out how tall you want the stove to be, which I'm thinking right around in here. So then you got to measure the same distance, or maybe just a hair less, down from the lip, but you want to get it to where it's past the bend. So I am gonna first, it's best to be able to drill the holes in the sides for the jets, like this one has. You can see the holes for the jets. I just randomly went around and put holes in it. But we are going to use the drill, take a piece of tape, wrap it around, mark it, and then try and measure to get the holes spaced apart as good as possible. But what I am going to do, I'm going to make it, like I said, I'm going to probably make it about this tall. So that's about 2 3/4 inches. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie and mark it right there. Okay, I found one that's just the right size when you lay the pen on top to where it meets up where we want it at. But all you do is take your Sharpie and lay it on top, and then just turn the bottle till you have your line all the way around. There, as you can see. And then you want to do the same this way. So now we got our 2 lines. Okay, and what I've done is I took a piece of masking tape and I'm going to make a mark on both ends, like right here on the very tip of the tab, and then I'm going to put one mark down on this side. So I can take and pull this back off without tearing it. Set this off to the side. Not get it stuck on itself. And take my tape measure. And we will see how long what we have here. So we got 9 1/4 inches. So if I wanted to make jets, I should do every 1/4 inch, I think. If I did every 1/2 inch, it'd be a little wide spot back over at this end. So if I do every 1/4 inch, there'd be plenty of jets. I don't know, I can do the math. So what I am going to do, so I don't have to do the math, we're just going to bump it down to here. And then we're going to go every 1/2 inch on the tape measure. Approximately. You don't have to have it accurate. Well, it's been a few days, probably close to a week, since I even shot some of this. Got over there and got my tools. A bunch of other stuff going on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grinder and I'm going to cut grooves. I already attempted with a file and it just ain't cutting into it deep enough. I'm just going to put 2 grooves on each side, 4 corners, because once this is cut, flipped over and put into the base part, this has to touch the bottom, and the grooves are for the alcohol once you pour it in, to let the alcohol get between this wall and the inner wall down here. So all I'm going to do is just kick this on real quick and put some grooves in it. And as you can see, I didn't go all the way through, but that's just enough to let the alcohol or whatever you're using for fuel to pass by. And what I just figured out is if I leave this, if I cut it here, this flat edge, this will be the height of what the line where it will sit at. I would have to drill my holes down here because the fumes will be coming up to get to the holes, and it won't be able to go past this because it's such a tight fit. So what I am going to do is I need to cut right where it starts to roll over to where it's flat, and that's how high I need to cut down here also. So even it's going to make it a little shorter, which is fine by me. It's just less room, takes up less room, and more compact. So I got to get my Sharpie. I'm going to mark this up here, measure it, mark this down here. What I did this time, I put a board in the clamp And now I have something to set it against, and all I got to do is hold the marker down in place and just roll it, and it will not move whatsoever, make a straight line. So what I will do now is I am going to take and measure. We'll figure out how to do that, but I want to measure from this lip to that line, and then I'm going to measure from the bottom up and put a mark. So what I can do is put this against the board, put that against the board, and it's, believe it or not, it says exactly 2 inches. So I want to come up 2 inches from the bottom and put my bottom mark, which is right there. Just as a reference, as long as you're close. It don't have to be perfectly exact, but then I'm going to roll this, get my mark on there to cut. Alright, I put this in the vise to where I can turn it, and I can hold my cutoff wheel, and all I got to do is turn it to get it to cut. Let's see how well it works. And now, we'll set that off to the side. I'm going to set this off to the side. Get it out of my road. And as you can see, I mean, there's some sharp edges. They're exactly the same height. That's what you're wanting, even if this was a little bit shorter. But you can clean these up with a file, which I have here, or a flap disc. I might just try the file and get the edges. You can see I kind of missed right there. Don't want any sharp edges. Same down on this one. So let's clean them up. I found a piece of 320. I'm just going to go around the very edge of it where it, try and get all the burrs, sharp edges off. It don't matter if you're going to knock the paint off of it, because I am going to sand this down anyways once I'm done. Just make it all aluminum. There we go. Nice. All right. You don't have to worry about sanding this down. You ain't going to see it, and it's not going to hurt a thing. But as of right now, you can see that it sets just a little bit higher because that's where the lip ends. What we want to do is we want to press that down in. It's probably easy enough to do right here on the bench top. And what I will attempt to do is just take and I'm going to put a board over top and just give it a couple little love taps. It's seated pretty much. I still need to seat it over here. I probably won't hurt nothing doing it that way. I'm hoping it will stay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and put it in a vise and see if I can squish that down in. It is touching at the bottom. Maybe I should have just left this a hair longer, but we can sand all this down to where it's, once I get it pressed all the way in, I think I ain't going to get any more, and just make it even all the way around. Okay, well, we got her to fit. I had to move the camera because it started raining. You probably hear it. But now I still got to do a little bit of cleaning up around the edges. What I had to do is I had to go pull this inner section out, and I shortened where the lip was and put some more grooves in it so it would sit shallower in here. I should have cut this side longer and then trim it to size, but either way you can do that. But now what I need to do is get my tape, run it around the edge, and drill holes. You know, I left my tape on the table when it got wet, but it is still sticking a little bit. What I'm going to do now is get the smallest bit. I'll have to look and see what size it is, and you don't want too small, but you want small enough to where the gases can escape and it can build up inside. Well, I found the 11/30 or 5/64 or 11/32 bits. They're really small. So that's the one I want to use. What I'm going to suggest from here is use a drill press. I had to center punch. My tape went bad. I went around and marked it with pens, but I used a punch to start the guide and had to use my drill press. But I'm going to suggest drill the holes before cutting. But okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just taking sandpaper and working my way around, get it cleaned up. This paint here in the indentations will burn out, but I ain't really worried about it. I ain't gonna worry about the bottom, just the sides. So keep sanding. Okay, well, I sanded it as good as I can. These little spots, if I want to touch them up even more, I can, but I filled it full of heat. You can use isopropyl alcohol, but they say this stuff's better, so we're going to try it. And it is burning. You won't see it because it's a bluish clear flame. That's why I put my hand over it. Yes, it is burning. what it needs to do, it'll heat up the liquid, and it will start to boil, and it makes fumes. And get you more on it here. And the way it should work, if it's cooking enough, it will start putting out fumes out the holes on the side. And it should light itself. Sometimes they don't. It is windy out here. I may need to put up some sort of barrier to keep the wind down. Maybe put that there. I should make some sort of barrier. See if that does anything. I can still see the heat. Yes, I still see the flames. Yes, I do think it is still going. I can't tell. I can't see the flames. I'm going to put a little water in the little pot. I got to build some sort of windscreen, probably just out of tinfoil or something, just to have in the field. So yeah, if you liked the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and not the finger. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Click the bell notification. You'll get 3 pop-ups, and click all. That'll tell you the next time I post a video. Go ahead and leave a comment, and we will see you out there in the woods. Bye.